that's actually what I call normal. But for example, how they actively tell their employees that they should ignore nonsensical company rules and that they should leave meetings if they feel like they're not contributing. How they let these employees take an unlimited amount of paid holiday so long as they get the work done. Or how, when a new employee joins the team, they are given a handbook that's actually called the Anti-Handbook Handbook. And it's filled with all sorts of wording that you just don't expect from an official company document. Like how it says that if you do certain things, you're a jerk. How it literally says you can talk to anyone without anyone's permission, including literally the CEO Elon. Or even how, if you feel like you might be about to do something stupid, do us all a favor and leave now. It's almost unnerving how direct they are, but clearly something's working, given that how in mid-2020, Tesla overtook Toyota to become the most valuable car company by stock price. They only have a tenth of the revenue, they literally sell a 30th of the cars, but their stock price is so high just because of this growing sentiment that electric cars are the future, and that Tesla is leading electric cars. But it gets wilder, because it's not just car companies that are falling by the wayside. Tesla is actually the fastest growing brand in the world, full stop, according to brand value growth rate. For some perspective, if I put $100 in Tesla in 2010, it would be worth $19,000. And they managed to do all this with just 70,000 employees, which might sound like a lot, but it is tiny when compared to Toyota's 360,000, or something like Volkswagen's 670,000. Right, the next 5 facts are all about money. We've got 90 seconds on the clock, let's go. The most expensive Tesla in the world right now is actually not $50,000 or $100,000, but in fact, $300,000. And it's a custom version of their Model S with actual gold plating all around both the outside and the inside of the car. 23. Even though Tesla is growing really quickly, their costs are so high that 2020 was the first full year that they actually made a profit.
Oh, shit.
And even then, it was only $720 million US dollars. Not even a sliver of the $50 billion that Apple made.
What an amazing day.
And it gets murkier, because the only reason they even hit profitability is because they received $1.6 billion in regulatory credits, which are basically grants from governments to encourage the production of low-emission vehicles. But something I was even more surprised by is that Tesla was very, very nearly bought out by Google for $11 billion. Tesla was having a really rough time. It literally got to the stage where the contracts were ready and both companies were about to press the trigger, but then Tesla all of a sudden started doing really well, and Elon Musk one day just decided, actually, we're good. But most interesting of all, this guy Elon, CEO, famously takes a grand total of $0 as his salary. Seems to be doing alright though. But let's talk about Elon actually, because this guy has a very colourful history, is what I was going to say. So, even though he is the current CEO, and believed by many to be the founder, Tesla was actually co-founded by 2 people called Mark Tarpenay and Martin Eberhard, and Elon only then came in later as an early investor. In fact, Elon never wanted to be the CEO. He was already working an 80-hour work week at his other company, SpaceX, when he got involved, and he just saw it as a massive faff. He only ended up agreeing to be CEO when he felt like there was no other option. But actually, yeah, let's look at Musk's other companies. Because as well as Tesla, which makes electric cars, he also owns SpaceX, whose mission is multi-planet colonization to save our species. Neuralink, who's trying to implant wireless brain-computer interfaces inside of us, and the Boring Company, who, well, dig holes in the ground. As well as other ventures. He's actually been so successful with these projects that he's only the second man in the history of Silicon Valley to take 3 separate companies to over $1 billion valuations. And no doubt at least some part of his success boils down to how he just does things. Like this Boring Company, they dig holes, yes, but they actually have a huge vision to dig enough transportation tunnels that they can end traffic on the roads. But do you want to know what the trigger point was for him to start this enormous venture? He just got stuck in traffic one time. He tweeted that, "Traffic is driving me nuts, I'm going to build a tunnel boring machine and just start digging." An hour after this, he named the company, and then an hour after that, he replied to his own tweet saying, I am actually going to do this. This almost impulsive attitude he has to things, combined with an almost limitless budget, leads to some genuinely bizarre outcomes. Like how in 2018, his boring company released a flamethrower. I think the goal was to just do something.
Yeah, we mean like a flamethrower, like. It's called, this is not a flamethrower.
Yeah, not a flamethrower, it's to make it illegal.
Yeah.
That would somehow unimplicate them when something inevitably went wrong. Or how with Tesla, the Model S, Model 3, Model X, and Model Y are all named as part of a quest for the car line to spell sexy. Oh, but hey, if you are enjoying this video, then a sub to the channel would be 13. Musk is sometimes referred to not as a billionaire, but more as a trillionaire, because of how he seems to make sweeping decisions, often for no other reason than just the fun of it. Like how he's named one of his sons Xavier, which he's admitted to being based on Professor Xavier from X-Men. Or, more controversially, his most recent son, well, this. The name is a combination of a bunch of things that him and his partner are just fond of, like their favourite
Not bloody twitching.
It's pronounced X.
It's painful, isn't it? The leg. I've noticed it twitch on a few places.
Or how, this is probably the...
I don't remember when you like last one, too, do you?
As a way to test his SpaceX rockets, he decided to launch his own personal car as a payload. It sounds ridiculous, but as we speak right now, his old car is orbiting us. It's already gone past Mercury, past Mars. In fact, this thing has travelled so far that it's done the equivalent of driving on every single road on the planet over 50 times. Okay, we're in the top 10. 10 of the wildest things about one of the wildest companies. So, possibly the biggest hurdle that Tesla's faced is that this company is sat here wanting to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. Fine, except to actually produce as many cars as they need to get there, Tesla alone would need the entire world's supply of lithium-ion batteries. So one day they just decided, screw it, we're going to build our own, and started production of the Gigafactory, the largest battery production plant, and also the largest building in history. So large that this building will produce more lithium-ion batteries than the world has ever seen every single year. And do you want to know the crazy part? Thanks to a never-before-seen density of solar panels, the entire thing has been planned to run on renewable energy. Number 8. Tesla's first car wasn't actually a Tesla. Before they built anything of their own, the company actually took this ultra-niche, handmade electric car at the time, called the T0, and replaced its internals with Tesla's own, effectively using it just to make sure that all the theoretical technologies actually had a practical benefit, before committing to building their own model from scratch.